No, that's a dumb thing to say. I'm gonna ask you to. I'm gonna go live and then tell you not to pay me any attention. Super stupid. Listen, phone keeps ringing about this Diddy documentary. Trying to put some things in perspective. The reason I ask you is so make it make sense. Let's go ahead and have a piece of this. Here we go. Okay, so yeah, listen, man. Surplus, what up, bro? Good to see you, King. I'm just in here to talk about this. Tired of my phone buzzing about the whole Diddy thing, the whole documentary. Shout out to 50 Cents. One thing that man knows how to do is make a mess. He 100% pulled that off. Um, every time I start to talk about this Diddy thing, people think that I'm shooting in bail. I'm trying to justify what he did, and that's not my point at all. There are a handful of things in that doc I wish I had never saw. And the Cassie stuff is right at the top of the list. All the other freak off stuff, I don't care what another grown man is doing behind closed doors, unless he's hurting somebody, which is the whole Cassie thing. But my thing is this: what I'm hearing, the biggest complaints I hear about Diddy as far as the documentary don't even have anything to do with the Cassie situation, which is crazy to me. Y'all get at him about being a messed up, a fucked up businessman. And here's the bad thing about this. Sorry to tell y'all, but Diddy is not unique in as far as like being a businessman in this space. Diddy's not new. He didn't invent all the fucked up things that you see happen in the artist that the artists on his roster were complaining about. That he didn't come he didn't invent that stuff. He learned all that game from somebody. Somebody taught him every part of that. Now he may have perfected it. And I think the main reason why we look at him so foul is because you want better from your people when it comes to you. We've been getting jerked by the powers that be so often. When one of us gets in a position of power, we not only expect better, but why wouldn't you want us to do well, right? And did he talk like that? So to find out that he was doing his artist dirty, or even better, just maintaining the status quo of the industry when it came to his own people, yeah, that's foul. That's foul. But what I want artists to know moving forward, what I want all y'all to know is Diddy is not unique. Expect that business stuff. Like, forget the freak offs, forget the domestic violence and all that stuff. I, he, not forget it is in cast it aside, but just for the artists that are stepping to me and getting at me about how terrible of a businessman he is to people, just please understand he's not unique at all. There are hundreds of Diddy's out there. Hundreds. The way he gets down business wise, that's super typical of the business. Super typical. There are the reason why Diddy is such a target is because he's famous. He made himself the most famous person on his label. So he can't walk out the door without you knowing him. But how many of y'all know what the guy who runs any of these labels look like outside of Jimmy Iovine? You wouldn't know what they look like. And please believe when these deals are being made, Diddy's not reinventing the wheel on the fucked up music deal, the fucked up record deal. He's not. It's not new. And I don't want y'all to walk out here thinking that because he got in trouble. He's the only boogeyman you needed to be aware of. Diddy was super typical. That's what I want y'all to get. The status quo. Who said that? But thank you. Thank you. That's the status quo, y'all. Like, he's not new. Please don't think, please don't think that when you get outside in front of these corporations, Diddy didn't sign everybody in the 90s. But how many artists do we see from the 90s who are beefing about their record deals, who are telling you how terrible these labels are? They didn't all sign to him. Diddy didn't invent this business. Elvis had a fucked up record deal. A fucked up record deal. Diddy wasn't around for that. He learned the game. And he may have even turned it up a couple of dials. But I need y'all to know moving forward. Please, please don't walk out here thinking that he was some kind of unique monster in the music business. I'm happy to tell you that he was pretty normal. It's pretty average. If he wasn't famous, we might not even hear about it. It's only a thing because you can point your finger and say that's the bad guy. You know exactly who the bad guy is. He's famous. So it's easy. But most of us don't go through the trouble of finding out who these other people who run these record labels are, because they have no need to be in front of the television or on the radio or sitting in on a podcast or hyping their own brand up. Diddy's brand was synonymous with all of his ventures: Sean John Clothing, Revolt, Bad Boy Records, even the liquor brand that wasn't actually his, but we identified it with him, Ciroc. All of those were directly tied into who he was. We know them because we knew him. So when he did bad business, he did bad business. When somebody else gets jerked by a record label, they tell you the record label jerked me. Or Atlantic got me, or Republic got me, or this one got me, or don't ever sign to this place, or don't ever sign to that place. Don't ever sign to Tommy. Like, you can hear all those names and be like, oh, word, oh, that's crazy. But we rarely shout them out by name, because artists rarely shout those people, those companies out by the name of the guy who runs the spot. Because if they did, you wouldn't know who that person was. You'd have to Google and look him up. But he's not famous. And then somehow, this is really weird. A lot of artists, a lot of the public, I find, will hear the name of a label, and maybe half of the time they associate the bad business contract with someone who just works under that guy, but never the guy who runs the thing. Like, you'll assume it was an A&R or another manager of the label, but rarely do people associate bad business contracts with the head of that label, unless that label is run by someone famous. But when it comes to Diddy, the first thing out is, yo, he jerked me. He did it. We don't think about a bad lawyer. We don't think about a bad accountant, but we do that with these other places. And I really need y'all to remember, these other monsters have names. They are out here. They are predatory. The whole industry is changing. Okay? That's a good thing. The whole industry is changing. Shout out to Kendrick Lamar. Watch the party die. The whole thing is switching around. So now's the time that we can start rewriting some rules. But we also have to deal with AI, which is the new animal. I'm seriously hope this doc made Diddy look crazy. Yeah, I know, because it just showed a highlight on what the business actually is. I've been trying to say this for the last couple of years. The culture of any business is ruthless and cutthroat and not family friendly at all. You walk around thinking it's sweet. That's how you get got. And you take things personal, which is a bad idea, because It's not personal, it's business. You can take it personal because they use personal methods to lock you in. A lot. They'll call you bro, they'll call you brother, they'll call you sister. He's like family, where the insert record label name here, family. So whatever it is, Bad Boy family, the Def Jam family, this family, that family. They tell you they're family. And you forget that it's family that will get you first. Family gets you first. And it's no different when it comes to this. They said Puff is working on a lawsuit on Netflix, seen it on Angela Yee show. That don't surprise me. That don't surprise me. You know, business is business. That don't surprise me. I'm not surprised by any of this. And I had a lot of people get at me thinking that I was shooting Diddy bail or I was defending him because I wasn't shocked by the things that came out in the documentary. And that just showed me how detached people are from what the everyday situations are in the music business, and then what they see on the, you only identify all this shit with Diddy because he's famous and people are pointing in his direction. Notice almost everybody in the documentary was somebody who had a grudge against him, and most of those grudges had something to do with business. He didn't pay this person, he didn't pay that person, he cut this person off, he cut that person off, he took stocks from that guy, he cut him out of the deal, he ran him, he did him dirty, he did her dirty, he did him dirty. All fact. If it's all true, it's all true. What I am trying to tell you is that's normal. That's normal. I could make one of those documentaries minus the freak off stuff. And the domestic violence, which I really don't want to. I really don't. I can't. I really don't want to overlook that or gloss over the beating a woman. Like, I really don't want to get past that, but I'm trying to stress to y'all. Most of y'all may, God willing, hopefully, you'll never have a situation where you're putting your hands on a woman or putting your hands on your man and your partner, period. Like, you'll never have that situation. But a lot of y'all are creatives and you will end up in situations where the business is going to be paramount. And that's what I want to focus on, because that's the thing I'm worried about for y'all. That's the thing that I'm super concerned about, because the language is tricky, the methods are tried and true and proven, and they will roll that out on you every chance they get. They will punch you in the vice, they will hit you in the insecurity, they will try to make you feel as if you need this. And Bun B and I had a very interesting conversation one time on a show, maybe like a year ago. We were talking about record labels and how bad the business treats people, and he said to me, as bad as it is, as bad as that can be, you'll have a lot of people who will still sign that contract because the alternative is going back. And a lot of people are coming from someplace so messed up, so fucked up. Their mentality is whatever is on the other side of this contract, it's not worse than what I'm leaving behind, and I can't go back. I can never go back. That's why you'll have a lot of artists telling you that you need to get yourself in a position of power so you can negotiate these things from a good vantage point, not a sense of desperation and I can't go back mentality. That's why the guys like La Russell, Russ, Chance, a lot of them will tell you, like, fuck a label, because they did what they did to get beyond the reach of a lot of these deals and beyond the need for a lot of these deals. Oh yeah, guys, I'm terrible at this. Do me a favor, please hit the likes, hit the shares. Let folks know that we doing this real quick. I'm terrible at YouTube, as you've probably guessed, but shout out to the Brooklyn Way. Just reminding me that I actually have a job to do while I'm in here talking to y'all. But please, please, please do me a favor. Hit those likes, hit the shares. Hit the like, hit the share, let everybody know you in here. That's hilarious, right? Yeah. Hit the likes, please. If you're enjoying the conversation, I'm not going to take up too much of your time, but I'm thinking about doing this maybe a couple times a week. What do y'all think? I do my 1-2 on Instagram, but it's really my only platform, and I need to start stretching out a little bit and moving and shaking a little bit. But shout out to Gat Taylor, shout out to Gat Taylor, shout out to Aaron Ross. Oh, one love to the good people over at On the Radar. One love to the good people at the Punchline Academy. One love to the good people over at Chinatown Sounds, putting my freestyles up. Thank y'all so much for that. One love to the Brooklyn Way. Just shot my scene over there, shot a couple scenes for the Brooklyn Way. One love to the location. Just did a real nice sit down with Brooklyn Hands and D Chambers. Super dope. One shout out to both those brothers. Special shout out to the boy Hands. Get well, stay on your feet, King. You got this. And we'll be laughing about this time next year. Probably doing another interview on the exact same couch, but we'll be laughing about it. And yeah, shout out to everybody who's pumping my freestyles. That shit is crazy, right? Super wild. I'm here for it. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Thought. Um, yeah, man, but please, please be careful moving forward. Be careful moving forward. Don't get caught up in this, you know, don't let the powers that be trick you into believing that, it be your own people and scare you out of doing anything with your people as if them other people aren't the ones who created the game. They invented the game. Hit the like, hit the share, folks. Hit the like, hit the share. Get on in here. They invented the game. It's not new. It's not new. And he didn't invent it. He learned it from somebody. He might have even perfected it, but he got the framework from somebody else, which means it was in existence. All them artists out of the 90s who got jerked, they didn't blame Diddy, they blamed their labels. You don't even know the guy who ran that label. And if he walked out and was standing next to you, waiting to catch the train, if he was standing next to you on the corner, if he was in front of you at the bagel spot waiting to get something to eat, if he was in front of you at Popeyes waiting to get his hands on his sandwich, you wouldn't know it was him. You wouldn't know it was him. Diddy, you know. This guy, you don't know. He gets to move around this industry and our world anonymous, just with the safety of of being a complete facially unrecognizable unknown, just a regular dude. Diddy don't have that luxury, so when he do something bad, it's amplified. He's done plenty of bad. What I'm trying to press to y'all is he's not worse than what's already out here, and I just want y'all to know that. Moving forward, just please keep your eyes open. Don't get caught up in thinking that and don't be afraid of working with your own people. We gotta stop that. We gotta stop that. We can't be afraid of each other because we are really all we have out in this motherfucker. Bars, that's what's needed. What up, Wallace? What's good, folks? I'm terrible at YouTube. Like and share. I'm terrible at YouTube. I'm just getting this together. I'm terrible at it. The people are yelling at me. I'm like the text messages coming through. I'm sucking at this, but like and share, like and share, like and share, please and thank you. Um, yeah, I just wanted to come up here real quick and let y'all know that I'm gonna start doing this a couple different times a week. Um, my new show is on the way. I just got a text message a couple seconds ago about a guest that I'm really excited to get. Oh, thank you, B74. Thank you. I feel like I'm fumbling all past myself here. If it's not me sitting there and doing an interview with somebody or rhyming at a camera, I feel completely out of my element here. Just I'm talking to a little plastic box. Real talk. We need to get back to basic human resources, starting with us to the brother Unkasa a little earlier today. Shout out to Two Gun Un. He was like, "Yo, the culture dying. I don't know what to do. Like it's crazy. The culture's dying. No, the culture's not dying. The culture's thriving. The industry is suffering. The industry is suffering. I hate to make him look like some kind of poetic prophet, but shout out to Kendrick Lamar because he said, "Let the party die," and that's kind of what's happening. Let the party die. They've reached the ceiling where they're too heavy to maintain themselves. You know, you keep signing people who are terrible because it's trendy and it's popular. Eventually, every generation's taste matures. I didn't get into Stevie Wonder until I was like in my 20s, damn near 30s, when I finally discovered how dope he was. Same thing with Prince. Same thing with every generation. Eventually, you reach a place where the timeless stuff becomes all you really want to hear, and that has to happen in hip hop too. But when labels are strictly focused on making money, strictly focused on the dollar, strictly focused on the algorithm becomes kind of like a cheat sheet. If this moves the algorithm, then that means it's cool and we can sign it and people like it. That's not always the case. In 2025, going into 2026, from here forward, men lie, women lie, numbers lie, pictures lie, videos lie. It all lies. The only thing that's going to tell you the truth is the feeling you get when you press play. And shout out to Homeboy. Shout out to King 777. That's what we need to rely on right here. It's all right here. The only reason I started making music again, or the only reason I started making music again, was because seeing the industry shift, somebody who has something to say, this is the time. And that goes for all of y'all watching. This is the time. This is it. This is it. Fortune favors the bold. If you got something to say, now's the what needs to be said. And if you give a damn about this culture like I do, then it you are it incenses it incenses me. Sitting by on the sideline and letting the thing go by and not trying to help. It's for that sucker shit. That sucker shit. Long story short, the industry is in trouble. The industry is in trouble, but the culture is thriving. And as we start moving forward into this new era where the label is not the end all be all and not the end game, the goal for creatives, as we move into this new space, the contracts are going to get different. The contracts are, but greed is still greed. Greed is still greed. It doesn't matter what form it comes in, what face it comes in, what head is on the body. Greed is greed. So those contracts are still going to look kind of crazy, and you need to make yourself aware. And you can't think that Diddy was the only person out here moving and shaking. That you also can't think that Diddy didn't inspire people to move just like him. He has sons and daughters out here who look at his business model, see how he was able to profit from it, and that's what they want. And they're out here. They're not as flashy. Maybe they don't have his bigger car and his bigger house and his bigger wardrobe and his bigger personality, but the contract is the contract. There are going to be tons of those. you've always been the reasoning in the room. Well, I'm trying. Thank you, King. I'm trying. I appreciate that. I just want y'all to be, have it. Listen, I gotta be careful too. I gotta be careful of what I sign, just like everybody else. I'm not immune. I sit on a contract for, as long as it takes to make sure that I understand exactly what's happening here. And that legalese is not a game. It's a language for a reason. The reason why they have all these tricks in legal speak when it comes to contracts is because somebody got over and they had to make sure that that wouldn't happen again. Somebody wrote down an agreement, sounded cool. Then whoever they had that agreement with, whatever artist they had that agreement with, managed to get out from under it or jerk the guy or cash out on the guy or escape the claw. And somebody had to build a better mousetrap because the mouse kept getting out from under it. So it was predatory both ways. Now the contracts are so crazy that they're trying to cover up every escape route you can have because they don't want to jerk. They don't necessarily want you jerking them, but in the process, they end up jerking. They can end up jerking you, and you can't do anything about it. You have to be careful. Please and please be. Is there a way somebody can come up here and chop it? Y'all let me know in the comments real quick. If there's a way that I can bring somebody up here to chop it up, that would actually be. I wouldn't be mad at that. I have said hi. Okay. Sacktown, what up? B74, what up? Blexit King 777, what up? There's some folks in there. Yeah, I'm not saying. I wanted to say that, and I want to start getting used to going live with y'all. We will figure out. No idea. I don't have access to a chat. Yeah, I get it. Again, not trying to beat you. Salute, Queens, get the money. DJ all day. What up, man? Yeah, I'm not trying to beat y'all in the head. I just want y'all to be careful. Too many of the calls that are coming through on my phone are just telling me how Southside, you already. Too many of the calls that are coming through on my phone, too many of the texts that are coming through on my phone are telling me how, Diddy was the worst thing ever and this nigga's the devil and he's this, that, and the third. Without shooting him any bail. Ah, salute. One song for Brooklyn. Without shooting Diddy any bail whatsoever. You are free to feel about him the way you are. I'm not here to defend nothing he did. Nothing. All I'm saying is, if we gonna throw a spotlight on him, I'm not telling you to take the spotlight off. I'm telling you to make that motherfucker wider. We are in the information age. There's literally nothing that you can't know, and anything you want to know is available for you to know, including the names and faces of the people who also do deals like he did, and that's a lot of motherfuckers. I would go out. I don't even know if it's a hot take if I say most of the business. Here's another thing: if they didn't do deals like Diddy, they wanted to. Think about that. If they didn't do it, they wanted to. They were mad that they didn't think of that first. If he innovated the bad deal at all, the jerk contract, the jerking an artist contract, if he innovated that at all, there were people who were mad that they didn't come up with it first. And as soon as they saw what it is, they went and copied it. He's not new. He's not original. Not in that sense. He's a celebrity, so everybody can point the finger at him, but he's not new. And I need y'all to move through this world remembering that. All right. I'm gonna try and make a habit out of this Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. I want to start bringing some people up to have these discussions en route to the show that I'll be dropping next year. That'll be the wave, like the fancier interviews that you're used to seeing. I'm gonna bring those back, no question. But in the meantime, in between time, I've always wanted to connect with y'all a lot. The people who support me, you guys who support me, none of us are for the simple minded. So I'd like to keep this going, and I'd like to blow it out a lot more. Google says you shouldn't have a go live button to you should have a go live button to pull up the screen. Yeah, they don't tell me which one that is. There's a bunch of buttons on here in top fans and a bunch of buttons on the side. I don't know. Maybe this is it. What's that? Nope, that's a green screen. What? Nope, that ain't it. Nope. Let's turn that off. Let's get rid of that. Quiet find my screen. What's this do? Highlight, save your channel. Last 5 minutes. Oh, that ain't it. B74, I'm gonna figure this out, and when I do, you're gonna be the whole thing together. Might do a yard, but I'm saying it out loud, to put the commitment on myself. I'm gonna start doing this way more, a couple times a week. Might have some random nights, working on these projects. Album with Busta, my album. There's a lot of stuff coming up that y'all should come on in here and fuck with me with. All right, so please do me a favor. Diddy's not unique. Please believe it. He's not. Keep your eyes open. Right? He's not some originator when it comes to the bad record deal. He might be an innovator, but he's not an originator. In the meantime, hit those likes, hit those shares. Stop on over to my Instagram channel and check out the freestyles, man. Shout out to the good folks at On the Radar. Shout out to the good folks at Chinatown Sound. Shout out to my brothers over at the Punchline Academy. And how could I forget? Shout out to Mickey Fax for rating one of my freestyles. Shout out to the brothers over at 8 Bar Clips. That was another good one. And I think I might move around and do a couple more freestyles before the album drops. But let's see how that goes. If you guys have any suggestions on places that I should go and freestyle, let me know. I'm working this rust off, and it feels good. It feels good to get out here and turn that wrist and pop the jab. Pop the jab. Anyway, I'm rambling now. I will see y'all sooner than later. Please be safe out there. It's your boy, Mr. Mac Rashawn, signing off. Be good.